Flying Scotsman's speed record. The Flying Scotsman is one of the most famous steam engines from the mainland. He was the fastest engine for reaching speeds over 100 miles per hour, and he is also Gordon's brother. Whenever Gordon puffs into Vicarstown station, he's always felt very happy to see his best brother, and Flying Scotsman is very happy to see his best brother too. One morning, Flying Scotsman was dropping off his passengers at Vicarstown when the station master came to see him. "Sir Topham Hatt has invited you to his railway," he said. "He's waiting for you at Knapford station with the other engines." Flying Scotsman was pleased. "Yes, sir," he whistled with pride, and he set off at once. Flying Scotsman pulled into Knapford. Everyone clapped and cheered, and the engines whistled with delight. He stopped just right next to Gordon. "Hello, brother," they said to each other. Sir Topham Hatt held up his hand for the silence. "Welcome back to Sodor, Scotsman," he said proudly. "Thank you, sir," smiled Flying Scotsman. "It's good to be back on Sodor again, seeing old friends and meeting new friends. But it's great to see my best brother, Gordon." "I'm so glad to hear that," chuckled Sir Topham Hatt. "Now, the reason we invited you here, Scotsman, is because you have been setting many records all over the world. So if you do the express run across the island to Vicarstown and back again on time, then you will set a new Sodor record." Flying Scotsman was excited. He had never set a record on Sodor before, but he wanted to do better than his best. "Hooray for the Flying Scotsman!" cheered all the engines. Even Gordon cheered for his brother. The next morning, Gordon was at the washdown. His fireman was carrying a bucket full of soapy water. He was scrubbing the back of Gordon's tender. Then Flying Scotsman puffed by, whistling cheerfully. The fireman jumped and accidentally knocked his bucket over, and the soapy water went everywhere. "Father," he groaned. Once the mess had been cleared up, Gordon puffed away to find his coaches. Flying Scotsman steamed into Knapford station, where Nico and Rosie shunted the coaches into both platforms of 1 and 2. One group for each of the two big engines. The station master spoke to him. "Remember, you must reach Vicarstown and back again without stopping for coal and water," he said. "Yes, sir," said Flying Scotsman. His important passengers climbed aboard his coaches. The guard blew his whistle, and the Flying Scotsman happily set off for quite on time. Then Gordon puffed in to collect his passengers. As they boarded the express, Gordon started to feel funny in his boiler. "That doesn't feel right," he thought to himself. But the guard's whistle blew, and he had to leave. Flying Scotsman shot cheerfully through the countryside. He was chuffing as fast as he could. The engines whistled as Flying Scotsman wheezed by. "Sodor Record, here I come!" he tooted grandly. Meanwhile, Gordon puffed along with the express. He hadn't gone far when he began to feel funny. "What's wrong with me?" he groaned. "I don't know," replied his driver. "We'll take a look when we get to the next station." But he didn't get the chance. Gordon started to go slower and slower. Steam and smoke billowed from his boiler. "I'm feeling sick," he gasped, and he was. At Vicarstown, Flying Scotsman was on time and set off on his journey back to Knapford. As Flying Scotsman puffed along, he suddenly saw Gordon looking very ill indeed. "Oh dear, poor Gordon," he thought. Finally, Flying Scotsman arrived on time back at Knapford Station. Sir Topham Hatt was there, waiting with Nico and Rosie. "Congratulations, Flying Scotsman," he said proudly. "That's my big cousin," cheered Nico. "Way to go," congratulated Rosie. "Thank you, sir, Rosie and Nico," said Flying Scotsman. "There's no time for a presentation, though. Gordon's in trouble, and I have to go back and fetch him." So Flying Scotsman was uncoupled and went back to find his brother, while Nico and Rosie shunted away the coaches. Soon Flying Scotsman found Gordon. The big blue engine and his crew were draining his water. "Are you feeling all right, Gordon?" Flying Scotsman asked. "Yeah, I'm all right now," replied Gordon. "The bucket of soapy water must have spilled into my water tank earlier today, so I'm getting a lot better now. But I'm afraid I don't have any water to finish the job." "Don't worry, little brother. I'll help you," whistled Flying Scotsman. Soon the two engines double-headed the express to their station on time and arrived back at Knapford just in time for Flying Scotsman was his new record celebration. "Well done, Scotsman," boomed Sir Topham Hatt. "I will now present you with your new Sodor Record certificate." Sir Flying Scotsman was delighted. "Thank you for helping me, Scotsman," said Gordon happily. "You are the best big brother ever." "And you're always my best little brother too, Gordon," smiled Flying Scotsman. All the engines whistled cheerfully for the most famous steam engine in the world.